What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole. This is Dude That's Fucked Up.
Hi there. Welcome.
Oh my goodness. What a treat.
It's so lovely to talk to you all or talk at you all. We're not talking to you. We're just talking at you.
But pretend we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That lip color is delightful.
I just found it in a bag of lip stuff I had on the counter, and I was like, this looks fun.
Don't you love that?
Oh, love it.
When
Love
you
it.
have so much shit, you just forget about
Yeah,
what shit you have.
It's basically new
like
every
so
time.
Much makeup, yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's probably old as fuck.
Yeah, well, hey, it looks great.
Thanks. I hope I don't get some like old like coronavirus from 10 years ago from it or something. Jeez.
It's like that scene from Mayor of Easttown. Sorry, I don't know if anybody's watching it or not. But where she's like getting ready for a date and she like pulls out a tube of lipstick that just has like fucking hair on it. And,
yeah.
like,
it's so fucking gross. Yeah,
old.
it's like powdery somehow because it's so old. It's like dehydrate. She has to like rehydrate it. Oh my god, the finale's on tonight. I'm gonna watch it after this. I'm very excited.
It's gonna be wild.
Oh my gosh, the HBO app was like crashing earlier because so many people are trying to watch that shit.
I saw Twitter was like freaking out about it. I was
yeah.
Like, oh.
Also, HBO, get your shit
just
together.
Settle down, get a glass of water, and let's just go get some Rolling Rocks and calm down.
Yeah. Good. That was good.
Thank you.
I'm always so impressed by your accents.
Oh, thanks. Oh.
Yeah, you're very good.
I've been watching. I like am very into the accent, like of that specific area of Pennsylvania. Yeah, like it's very unique, and we actually have friends who are from that area.
Yeah,
and so I've heard it.
Yeah.
It's that shit's a hard. It's a hard accent though.
Oh my god.
So props to fucking all the actors.
Oh my god. I don't know if we have any biz this week, but I just thought of something fucked up from yesterday.
Okay, I don't have any business, so let's do it.
Okay, it has to do with Hun. Okay, we went to get these vegan donuts that are really good in Long Beach. That they're called Devi's Donuts, if anyone is in the area. And they started at like farmers markets. Yeah. And would just do like pop-ups, throughout the weekends and stuff. And they got a brick and mortar, and it's up on Anaheim, close to the Bamboo Club, if anyone knows where that is. Like Anaheim and Redondo, close to there. Love. And it's so, the donuts are so good. And we were there yesterday. We waited, it's like a tiny little storefront. It's mostly a kitchen. And then the storefront's like small. So we had to wait outside, and we're just like waiting. And then we go in, and a man is helping us like pick out our donuts and stuff. And the man said something like, which one do you want to grab, hun? Or something like that. Which one do you want to grab, honey? And I was like, and then I was like, I guess. And then I didn't realize he was talking to his wife, who was like around the corner. And he was like, no. And I was like, I don't know. I thought you wanted me to pick out the cinnamon roll I wanted. And he was like, you can. And then his wife's like, do you want to pick? And she had like a huge tray. I'm like, no.
We're still adjusting, man.
I was like, also, it's so funny because, of course, immediately I'm like, why is this guy calling me honey? It's so condescending. But I didn't get annoyed because I was like, I don't know, he's older, and I'm just gonna let it slide. And it wasn't even me.
How dare you?
I'm like, the fuck? Excuse me, sir. I have a name. I am a woman. I am an adult human person, and that's so rude. And what are you, like 100 years old? Like, no, it was totally my fault.
Ma'am, I'm talking to my wife.
Calm down. Yeah. He's like, oh no, I was talking to my wife, and I was like, Such an idiot.
No.
Oh my God.
It happens. There's going to be there's still so much of that's going to happen for like at least the next year of us getting back into being in person fucking situations with strangers.
I just was like, also, it's like you can't see people's faces. you can't, like, a similar thing happened to me later in the day when, like, a guy wasn't moving. I needed to get through somewhere. We were like at Beechwood, and I needed to get through. We had just placed an order. We were going back outside, and like I know he saw us, and he didn't move. And so I was like, "Oh, excuse me," and he was like, "Oh, excuse me," or whatever. And I was like, "Was that a?" I couldn't tell if it was like a watch where the fuck you're going, or if it was like a, oh, I didn't see you, but I couldn't see his face. It's all just, it's a lot.
Like trying to like match the tone of voice to
to what's happening.
Facial, I know.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, so that was my fucked up thing.
Oh my God.
Not what I had originally planned, but you know what? It works.
It works. Oh man, that's funny.
What do you have? Anything for this week that's fucked up?
I was in our like family room area yesterday, and Jack has like a little basketball hoop in there, you know, and he's like playing with his basketball hoop, and the ball like goes under a little bench, like eating nook area that we have over there. Yeah. And he's like, he walks over to get the ball, and then he's just like backs up, and he's like, it's all dirty over there. It's schmutzy. And I was like, what? Like, okay, you fucking little whatever. I don't know. I was just like, what? When did you get so like picky about, I don't know, just I don't know. So I walk over there, and there's blood on the floor.
Oh my God.
And I was just like huge droplets, like,
ew.
Yeah. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? And I don't know where it came from.
Check your hands.
I know, but it was like dried. It'd been there for a while, and I never noticed it because it's like over in a corner. It was like over in a corner of the room. I don't know. Sorry.
The room.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And a DJ like walked in, and I was like, there's fucking a bunch of blood over here. Like, what the fuck? And
like a tablespoon?
Yeah, like more than that.
Really?
Yeah, like a good amount. And I was just
like a quarter of a cup?
Not that much.
Okay.
I would say
like 2 tablespoons.
Yeah, a couple tablespoons, like big splats, you know? And I was just like, but I couldn't see, like it didn't lead anywhere. Like there was no tracks of it anywhere. And so my first thought was like, oh, maybe one of the cats like cut themselves, or like they were fighting so bad they like sliced an ear or whatever. Yeah. But then I was like, we checked the cats, they were fine. There's no scratches, there's no scabs or anything. Oh. And I was like, yeah, they would have probably like tracked it somewhere. Yeah. So my next thought is that they killed something in the house. Like a lizard or a fucking, mouse or something. So I'm like, really, and I still can't figure out what happened. And I don't know. I haven't really cleaned up the blood because I didn't feel like it. And DJ didn't either. So it's just still there. It's just like, it's like out of the way. It's not like a biohazard or anything. Yeah. But I need to like piece this together. I need to like Mayor of Easttown this shit out, because I need to like look at the blood splatter like pattern and see what the fuck happened. But my fear is that I'm gonna find like a partially eaten body of some small little rodent or something in a
You would
bathroom.
smell it though, right?
I know. I think I would. I have the most sensitive sense of smell. So I don't know. The whole thing is not great. I hate it.
You should definitely like Instagram, take some photos. We'll put it on the DTFU Instagram. Maybe someone can help solve it. Yeah. Also, can you order like an online DNA test to see what kind of blood it is?
What kind of blood is this? Yeah. Is it?
It could be so old too.
But like that's the thing. It's like we never, like the area over there that it's in is like so kind of like not a area we really like hang out in. So yeah. I don't know how long it's been there. I don't know.
Oh, no.
It's like somebody snagged their like.
Oh, no, don't.
Something. Like their like knuckle or something or finger. Like one of those like your extremities that like bleeds really hard and fast. And it's just like drip, drip, drip. And then there's nothing else. I don't know. Yeah. I really need to investigate this further is what I'm saying.
Oh my God. I think we should order you a monocle No, like a
magnifying glass.
Yeah. Not a monocle.
A monocle would be like if I found a pile of money in the corner of the room. I don't know.
Or like the program to an opera or something. You're like, where's this from? And it's like, oh.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So that's my fucked up.
I love it.
Yeah.
What a weird fucking
blood in the middle of nowhere.
I found like this hard, weird, like grainy thing on the floor earlier by Pete's desk, and I put it on his desk, and he goes, "Did you find my lozenge on the ground?" And I go, and I was like,
what, did it fall out of his mouth and he couldn't find it?
No, I guess he took it out and put it on the desk to have it later and like knocked it off the desk. And then I go, "Oh yeah, did you find it?" He goes, "Yeah." And it was in his mouth, and I go, "Ew, you put it in your mouth?" And he goes, "Yeah, that was bad." And he spit it out.
We're talking about like a fucking like Hall's situation, right?
Well, it wasn't like, it didn't look like a hard candy. It looked like a fucking multivitamin. Like it was like grainy looking. It was weird. I don't know. I think it was like a natural one or something.
Yeah.
I don't ask him what he puts in his mouth.
Maybe you should start because
maybe I should start. But also, that's his deal, you know? And he has these like he has these like pastilles or something. They're like hard sucking candies is what his dad calls them, and Pete has them, and they're just like an old person thing. They're like these little, and they're like licorice flavored.
No.
Yeah, and he just is always sucking on one, and earlier today he started chewing it, and I get very upset by that sound now since he ate that crab salad or whatever with the whole crabs. And so I was like,
the hard shell crabs that he thought were soft shell.
And so I immediately was like so triggered by it, and I was like, "Ugh, every time you do that, it's so upsetting." And he's
We're
like,
still not out of this like lockdown here yet.
I'm still on a weird, everything's very heightened for me at all times.
We're still mentally locked down in a lot of ways, so let's get it together.
I'm mentally locked down.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Dear. Oh, yeah. That's so funny. Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this week, I guess.
Yeah, let's do this topic of du jour. Okay, you guys. This is a topic we've had multiple requests from listeners to do.
Oh my God.
So we had to do it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's
creepy. Yeah, there's like creepy elements. I feel it's like maybe there's like some paranormal stuff to it.
Yeah.
But mostly it's not.
Yeah, but mostly it's not. So today we're talking about staircases in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
This is a thing that is real and it exists.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and start out by managing everybody's expectations about this topic. Initially, I didn't manage my expectations about it. And I was like, this is really creepy. What the fuck? What's happening here?
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be really,
like a thing.
I wanted it to be like there to be more to it. But unfortunately, there was not a lot of concrete info to bolster the claims of more of the more creepy examples of staircases in the middle of nowhere that people have reported about on the fount of where all true information comes from, Reddit. That's whenever I'd read an article about these like creepy staircases and like these like anecdotes about them or whatever, it would all go back to this.
It's like sourcing Reddit.
Yeah, it'd all go back to this, and it's specifically one part of Reddit that we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe this episode is more about how the internet spreads concepts and ideas that may or may not be true, like wildfire.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to talk about the creepiest sightings and then be real dicks about how we need more evidence.
Yeah,
because it is kind of like some examples are kind of creepy.
And this truly is, I wasn't even really thinking about that, but like this truly is a testament to like how much of the internet just needs to get filled with like anything to sell ads. And so there is the same essentially article on thousands of websites.
Yes.
Using the exact same amounts, like citing the exact same information that we're going to talk about today.
Like word for word.
Yeah.
It's just like there's no, oh my God. Like a prime example of this is fucking the Reader's Digest website. They start talking about it and it's just like literally, it's like, this is a phenomenon that many have talked about in various places, and it's like, which places? And then
it's not cited, the places,
and it gives like 0 examples. And then all it is, every article on there, I realize, is a vehicle for you to click on another article of theirs. So it's like they start talking about the staircases in the middle of nowhere, and then it's like, it's just like other examples of urban legends that may have come from a true source, and then they're like, click here to read more about urban legends, and it's just like
such a broad
So it's like a lot of that stuff is what I'm saying is where I'm going with like this whole thing where you start reading, you do a search in the search engine, and you're just like, okay, click on a bunch of these articles that mention it, and then it's just like all kind of the same stuff. So but we're gonna talk about it. Try to do some digging on it.
I mean, we did some. Yeah, we found some stuff that is like concrete, that exists and that is like documented, and we know where it is.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that stuff, but I feel like it really, like, on the topic of like, this is just content that keeps getting like regenerated by like middle and low tier websites, like long tail websites, and people are like ghostwriting articles for it and shit. Or like there probably is like some sort of computer algorithm that's like stairs in woods, and it's like just pulling information from other websites. But a few of the things I was trying to like fact check, and I was searching very specifically and like could not find anything, just kept getting more of those types of articles from Reader's Digest and shit. And so and also if you look at the dates, because I also wanted to fact check this next part, which is that this idea of like stairs in the middle of the woods or in the middle of nowhere wasn't really a thing prior to this. It was a Reddit thread in 2015 on the No Sleep subreddit. And
the No Sleep subreddit is like where people write things that are they're fiction, it's like,
or like fabricated, like
they're for the most, I mean, some of them might be real. Some stuff might be real, but for the most part, it's like creepypasta where it's like, this is like a scary story. And, so.
Yeah. And so there was a post done by a user named Search and Rescue Woods, and they are a search and rescue person allegedly, and they were like, here's some of the like creepiest, saddest, scariest stuff I've seen on the job, like being a search and rescue person. And so most of what they shared was like quote unquote paranormal type stories where they were like in a situation and they got a weird feeling and they heard something was whispered to them or whatever. And then there were also things that were like freak accidents with like including unfortunately children.
Oh my God. I was like reading all these examples. They were like these anecdotes, and I was just like, I couldn't handle it. It was too fucked up. Like,
I mean, search and rescue is a fucking heavy job, dude.
Dude, it's fucked. You're usually looking probably mostly for
a body.
Children, and most likely a body if the parents or whatever haven't seen them in a couple hours. So
that's all it is. Yeah,
that's all it is. It's very, very upsetting, and it's a heavy job. So,
dude, my Pete's brother-in-law, Andy, did search and rescue in Alaska for a number of years, and it was like, I almost thought to like call him and ask him, but I was like, that might be like triggering because it's very dark, I would imagine, mostly. But I do know stories of them finding people. Like,
And
where
so
he rescued people and found them and they were alive and stuff. So
God.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the good stories are good, but the bad stories are really bad.
Yeah.
And this person the search and rescue woods account person.
Yeah.
They like a lot of the stories that they were telling, like, you know, especially some of the more like graphic ones.
Yeah.
I was like, this is probably definitely real. Like this is,
yeah.
I think like a lot of, but then, you know, some of it, I was just like, maybe it's, I don't know.
Yeah. Some of it. Yeah. Yes. It seemed plausible. The ones that were questionable for me were the ones that were like, oh, I heard a whisper, and when I turned around, no one was there, or whatever, like that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. But the woods at night are very scary.
Yeah, they're scary.
So
yeah, but like definitely the guy who is mauled by a bear, like I believe that because people are mauled by bears.
Yeah, all the time.
That's the thing that happens. Yeah, but he saved the best for last, which. To me, this was not creepier than the other things that he had talked about, which were like very morbid and like somewhat graphic. And like this one isn't the scariest of those things, but he kind of like set it up to be. But it is today's topic. So, but yeah, this is what he had to say about Stairs in the Woods. And this is exactly what he wrote in this subreddit. This is the last one I'll tell, and it's probably the weirdest story I have. Now, I don't know if this is true in every SAR unit, search and rescue unit, but in mine, it's sort of an unspoken, regular thing we run into. You can try asking about it with other SAR officers, but even if they know what you're talking about, they probably won't say anything about it.
Red flag.
This is my first red flag. I'm like, is this a really, like, but it's for the storytelling aspect of it, I would imagine.
Course.
We've been told not to talk about it by our superiors, and at this point we've all gotten so used to it that it doesn't even seem weird anymore. On just about every case where we're really far into the wilderness, I'm talking 30 or 40 miles, at some point we'll find a staircase in the middle of the woods. It's almost like if you took the stairs in your house, cut them out, and put them in the forest. I asked about it the first time I saw some, and the other officer just told me not to worry about it, that it was normal. Everyone I asked said the same thing. I wanted to go check them out, but I was told very emphatically that I should never go near any of them. I just sort of ignore them now when I run into them because it happens so frequently.
Does it?
No. Yeah. I'm so like, I mean, clearly there are staircases in the middle of the woods. There is photographic evidence. You can Google it and see it, but it's like the whole like
not in this way. The way that they're setting it up, like it's some like supernatural, like the way they're saying this is like I'm envisioning a staircase like cut out of a 1980s tract home that's just in the middle of the woods in fucking like deep wilderness where there's never been any kind of like present day like development. So
I'm expecting to come up to a staircase. I'm Lydia Dietz. It's the scene in Beetlejuice where he's the handrail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, no, these are just like, they're not that weird. I don't know.
Yeah, but like that's kind of the setup or like the visualization that a lot of people are getting. I feel like the way they kind of set this up. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I would like to see it. I would like to see some proof. Search and rescue people if you're out there.
I know. And we're going to look at some photos of some stuff. But again, like, it's just hard. We're getting so little context. A lot of this is from Reddit. Like, just don't know what's honest.
In the No Sleep subreddit. That's known for being just like fictionalized like things.
Well, since then, there's also a Stairs in the Woods subreddit. Like, there's its own thing. So, but, it's still just people positing.
Yeah. Like, so this particular like post this guy did, it just suddenly it exploded with people. Viral. Like it went viral. People started commenting like, I've been in the middle of the woods in Germany and seen a staircase, or Norway, or, wherever. And it's like all over the world, like people start, telling stories about the times. But then it's like, are they writing their own creepypasta, tagging onto this creepypasta? It's just like, because they are not providing any more context other than their story of their encounter with a staircase in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Which as a concept is, yes, it's very unsettling. It's very creepy. And I can totally understand. I get the psychology of like what is creepy about it. So yeah, it's very unsettling.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, it really, since like you're saying 2015, it just went global, and we're going to talk about some of the, I guess they're in the more popular ones. Honestly, they're not even popular. It's just like the ones that have been written about the most and all these articles that are coming from the same place. So
yeah.
It's not like these are like super popular, but these are the ones that I guess have like been posted about the most on like Reddit, on
as examples.
Imager. Yeah, as examples, been pinned on Pinterest and stuff. So these are like some of the more famous ones.
These are the proof of like there being staircases in the woods.
Yeah.
And they certainly are staircases in the woods.
Yeah.
But just not in that way that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, just so we're clear, there's lots of stairways in the middle of nowhere, either because they're abandoned construction, ruins of old structures, or like art installation type things.
Yeah. I feel like
can exist.
Yeah, and I feel like listen, right off the bat, like an abandoned construction or like a ruin makes so much sense. I deviate hard on an art installation because I'm like, okay, I could picture this type of person in my mind, but also I have a hard time like thinking that this person is real and not just like a character in my mind, because it's like, what sort of, like, how pretentious do you have to be to like have your art show 30 miles your guests have to hike 30 miles into the woods?
I mean, but that's the subversive thing about it, is that it's like it's not, that's what makes it art, is because it's like not for like public consumption, you know what I mean? It's just
oh my god,
it's like the Prada storefront in Marfa, like that's in the middle of nowhere, and it's like this super high luxury like thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, endlessly photographable. So
has anyone, I don't know, like on the topic of that, was there like a party when they launched it, or it just was there one day and now it's just been there since that day?
No, it was like a known art installation, but it wasn't like a,
it's not easily accessible or in like a main area.
Yeah. And it wasn't like they had a party about it. It was just like, here's art, like do with it what you will. And people go visit it, and it's like, make the Instagram pilgrimage to go to it. But that's been there for that. That was there way before like Instagram was a thing. So
oh my god, this is something that I love so much too, because I'm just thinking like, and this goes back to what I was gonna say as my fucked up of the week, but like just picturing like New York types, but like in my mind it's like a 90s New Yorker with a very like sharp haircut and like all black,
like a Parker Posey like party girl like vibe. Yeah,
like not really goth, but like New York, all black but like fancy, with like just like trying to get through in the woods in their Louboutins and like complaining the whole time. And there's like every maybe mile there's like a waiter in like tails, like like in a tuxedo with coattails that's like serving champagne, and like it's like a whole big to do. But this is the thing too, because everyone's feet hurt, and I bought some new hiking boots that are like less hiking boot, more fashion boot, but like but they're
they're more fashion over function.
Yeah, I mean, like they're good hiking boots, but also they're fashionable. Like, and they were too expensive, but I bought them, and they're black leather and they look so fucking cool. And I am trying to break them in, and they today I wore them to lunch and I wore the wrong socks.
Gotta wear the right socks for
oh my God.
hiking boots.
There are skin layers missing off the back of my Achilles. And you know what? Now I hope I get a callus because then I'll be good to go on that foot. But you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm picturing in my mind is just like, yeah, Parker Posey with really tiny bangs.
Yeah. Baby bangs.
Baby bangs.
In the forest, trying to make a pilgrimage to a staircase to nowhere art installation in the Appalachians.
And like you get there, and what's the band that's like, we're on another nowhere? Talking Heads.
Oh,
it's
Talking
like David
Heads,
Byrne's there, like when you get there.
Yeah. If only. I mean, but see, I appreciate like that kind of stuff where somebody goes to like the trouble to do it, but also it's like, why are you going? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it also reminds me, there's an artist who makes these like huge troll sculptures, and he does them like all over the world, and there's like an interactive map you can look and see where his trolls are. I forget what the name of the like art project is. But they're like huge, they're massive, and he makes them out of like, you know, recycled things and scrap wood and, you know, reclaimed this and reclaimed that. And he made one in like Puerto Rico, and then it got destroyed in the hurricane, and he rebuilt it, and it's just like very cool, very, very awesome, beautiful works of art. And so, and there's like always like a little like fairy tale behind each of the like little trolls that he makes. It's really cute. So like,
are they like
that's
bridge
what
trolls?
I'm envisioning. They're
or
huge.
Like with the but are they like gross looking bridge trolls, or are they like the floofy hair with the jewel belly troll, or both?
They're somewhere in between that, like a you know, Norwegian folklore kind of thing.
So they might be ugly but also have wispy hair.
Yeah, they're ugly and whimsical at the same time. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Great. Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna start. I think that's my brand, honestly.
I think there is definitely there has to be like a Swedish word for that or a Norwegian word for it. Whatever.
Yes.
Like hygge is a thing, you know, they're like ugly and whimsical at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's like Skurgy or something.
Yeah.
Like you think it's going to be gross because it's like Fergans.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but it needs to sound gross but also appealing.
Flugenhaus. I don't know. That's probably so offensive. I don't know.
Well, we're just making words up.
But yeah, that's what I'm envisioning when I think of a staircase it's not, I don't know. It doesn't it creeps me out, but it doesn't creep me out in a way, you know. I definitely like believe it would be very unsettling to stumble upon something that's man-made in the middle of, there's something just, it's not natural. It's unnatural in the middle of something unnatural
and unexpected
in the middle of a very wild place. In
what you think is the middle of nowhere, but we have not lived on this planet its whole time, and it maybe at some point was not the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about some of the famous ones that we were able to find. There's not that many. No. The first one is this one right off the bat in a picture looks creepy as fuck. Also, the picture that's like famous, this is for Madame Sherry's Castle, is like what the staircase is from.
That's what it's called, yeah.
That's what it's called, yeah. It's in New Hampshire in the U.S. And it looks creepy. The picture is like foggy and it's fall and there's like leaves everywhere. It looks wet. It just
like
looks
old
creepy.
Growth, like forest around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it technically not in the middle of nowhere. It's part of a larger set of ruins that exist in this area. So it is not a standalone staircase. And because of that, I don't know why it's one of the more famous ones, but we didn't write these articles.
It's technically a staircase, and it's a staircase technically in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest.
True, but it's not just a staircase, which I think is the defining factor for a lot of these. But if you just look at this picture and it's angled right and you believe everything you see on the internet, then yes, it is very spooky.
Yes.
But there are pictures from other angles where there's like full like floor plans in stone that are like,
and it's an
ruins.
Obvious ruin.
Yeah. It's an obvious like, oh, this was a huge fucking place, and this is just like one little part of it.
Yeah, and this is the part that stood the test of time. Just like you can stumble upon like a house that's burned down or whatever, and all that's left standing is a chimney, you know, or whatever. So
yeah. Well, so yeah, I don't know what you think about this one, but I don't know.
The New Hampshire one.
Yeah.
I think it's not creepy. It's like, okay, these are ruins.
Yeah.
This is evidence of a place that existed before my time.
Yeah, it was a fucking castle. Madame Sherry lived there.
Yeah, and cool. Good for you.
Madame Sherry is a very fun name. Like, there's just like something about it where I'm like, she could be a psychic. She could be a
madam, an
actual madam. She could be like a baker or own an ice cream shop. Like,
yeah, I feel like Madame Sherry's Castle would be a great name for like an amusement park, you know?
Yeah, or maybe mini golf.
Oh, sure, or like like ice cream and candy.
Yeah, or like like not kind of like between an amusement park and a mini golf place where it's like
a Renaissance fair kind of themed.
Yeah.
Like
or it's like, what's that for? Scandia. Yeah. Scandia, it's like, they have go-karts also. You know what I mean?
And that bungee cord fucking ride that everybody passes out on the internet. Yeah. Totally.
I love those videos so much. I don't like the pass out ones, but I saw one recently where a lady lost her wig and they found it down below. She was like, "Where's my wig?" And she was like, "Have you seen a wig?" And they're like, "We got it." And then she's like, "Oh, good." And they're just laughing. It's so fun. Yeah. All right. Well, this next one it doesn't have a name, but we've labeled it Redditor TK622's German staircase. Yeah, no idea where this is except that it's in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
This one I feel like this one's up to code. It has a handrail. It's like, like
German efficiency. What are you gonna do?
They're like, listen, if you're gonna build this staircase in the middle of nowhere, it needs to at least be safe for people to use.
Yeah, this one is like it's in the woods in like a thicket, but there's like a stand of trees around it, and some smaller trees have grown on it, and it's like very overgrown with like moss and grass and stuff, but there's nothing there except for the staircase and a metal handrail, so it looks modern.
Way more than Madame Sherry's.
But like, I also don't think people understand how quickly nature takes over spaces.
Yeah.
So again, this is like, it's not. This doesn't creep me out that much because it's like, I don't know where. There's no context with some of these pictures. Like, this could just be like off the freeway somewhere.
Yeah.
Where there used to be an office building or something, but like the development, ran out of money, and all they ever built was the staircase, and then they had some fucking, you know what I mean? And then they had some construction trailers there, and they were like, "Oh, we're out of money."
Someone really mismanaged that budget.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's so.
Or like, I think maybe too, it's like, the freeway's on the other side of the photo. Like, the person taking the photo was standing on the freeway, and while they were building it, this was like a little staircase that they used to climb in and out of their like equipment for safety. Maybe someone had like a bad hip or something that was like driving the cement truck, and they're like, "Oh, we'll like put a little staircase here so he could get in easier." And then he or she, and then it was like they just left. They're like, "Oh, freeway's done," and then they just left it.
And that's why, again, like, nature takes over so much faster than we if we don't maintain spaces like that are in wilderness like this, wilderness takes over pretty quickly. So
it finds a way.
Like in any like disaster movie or like post-apocalyptic movie that does it right, shows like how fast things get overgrown in like cities and whatnot when there's no humans around to maintain that shit. So
I mean, we all experienced that this last year when birds and bugs and stuff and coyotes and stuff came further into populated areas because people weren't driving as much initially. I mean, this was like short-lived. People weren't driving as much and people weren't out as much. So nature kind of started to creep in a bit more.
Yep.
As it should. It is their earth too, I suppose.
More than ours. Shit.
More than ours. Yeah. Yeah, it's all starting to remind me too. There's like really cool. I just like have Alaska on the brain because I'm going next week, but to CB's family. But there's an area where there's an abandoned mine, and it's like down at this place called Sandy Beach. It's very easy to get to. It's like accessible. You don't have to hike to it. It's like more of a nature walk, and it's like short. But it's like it could be spooky. Like you could just walk up to it if you didn't know it's there, and you're like, oh my God, it's just like abandoned mining equipment and like mines that are closed off now, and like huge like cranks and wheels and then down by the water there's like a huge tower, but of course the like the tracks that they had used to get the gold down to the ships or whatever, it's gone. All that stuff's gone, but there's still this like tower that exists just in the ocean, and if you're there you're just like, what is
the
this?
Fuck is that?
It's scary. And it's all overgrown.
Yeah.
But it's so cool too because we find like pieces of china and stuff from the lodge that used to be there. Like last time, just every time we're on the beach we find little artifacts. It's wild.
It's really cool. Like all through California there's like famous ghost towns, like from when
Bodie.
From when gold mining was like a huge thing, and it was like once a town went bust, basically, like they found one vein in like a mine, and then they mined it, and then it was gone. And then the town like just left, picks up and leaves, and then they leave all the infrastructure behind because like you can't bring a building with you, So they're all through California. There's like tons of ghost towns. And even really, really small ones that are kind of like off the map. Like I follow this guy on TikTok who literally just like moved out into the middle of nowhere, where you would think, oh, nobody's lived here
ever
for centuries, or indigenous people maybe lived here, but the amount of infrastructure that's there is creepy because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so this guy just like goes into like the town and like digs up floorboards and finds like old, clothes and bottles and, shit like that. And like,
oh my God.
So
I got to look at that TikTok.
I'll send it to you. It's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, this next one this isn't really a staircase to me, but again, it's one of the ones that's like one of the more like known or popular ones. It's the Etruscan pyramid of it's a Bornazzo or Bomarzo. Yeah, Bomarzo. It's in Italy. But this isn't really a staircase like the ones we've been talking about because it's like carved into rock, which feels different. Like, because like, I don't know. I think it's easier to picture something like this where like stuff was around it, whereas like some of the other staircases, like nothing is around it, and it's small. It's like 3 stairs or 5 stairs, and that's it. But this is its own thing.
Yeah.
And it is, according to scholars, because they think that this is something from maybe like 7th century BCE. Maybe even before, and they think it could have been used as an altar to perform sky-based divinations and sacrifices of animals and people.
Yeah, like the Mayans,
Yeah, it does look like it's part of a bigger structure of some sort.
Yeah.
Like, and this is just how they got to the top of it. It's not really its own standalone staircase.
It's very interesting. I've been to like the Mayan ruins down in the Yucatan Peninsula and shit, and it's like a lot of what they've discovered and uncovered has been grown over. Like nature took over. So like all these like temples and shit that are like they're like pyramids basically.
Yeah.
A lot of them they only discovered in like the 70s and 80s and 90s and have uncovered, and it's like there's full fucking aqueducts and very sophisticated means of structure and infrastructure of these like places that existed at one point in time. They had to do like satellite imagery and like infrared shit to like figure out where each structure was, and once they did, they like uncovered it, and you go to it and you're just like, you can't believe like how like it's so insane like how detailed all this shit is, and it's just like been hidden for forever. And this is what this reminds me of, this particular example, this staircase that's just like carved into rock, and it's like it's been there forever, and it's and that again, that this is not an example. This is an example of a staircase in the middle, quote unquote, of nowhere, and it's nowhere now, but back in 7th century BCE, it's like
people lived here, or people came to this as a destination to fucking sacrifice people,
which that is creepy, but
that is creepy. I'm glad that's not a thing anymore. That we know of. And I feel like, okay, so we're to the last like famous one. This is at the base of the Appalachian Mountains in Pennsylvania.
This one is creepy.
This one is creepy because all the other ones like visually kind of look creepy. They're overgrown and stuff, but those ones look so much older.
Creepy in a way that's like, it's as in the fog, and it's like very atmospheric, and is it haunted? This one is creepy in an unsettling, like this should not be here kind of way.
100%. This is it's a metal staircase. It looks like very futuristic in the lines of it, and just like it in general, like it looks like it would belong at a like rich villain's house in a Marvel film or something. Like, like this is Robert Downey Jr.'s desert home staircase or something.
Yeah.
As Iron Man. But, like that's it. That's how it feels. But it's just like in the fucking woods in Pennsylvania near like a pond or a river or a creek or something. And they're metal. So it's like and they're not iron, I don't think.
Yeah, it's just it's just something that's made of metal, like and it like the stairs look concrete, but there's like a metal structure around it. Like it's about 20 or so steps up. Yeah. And it's just like this metal enclosure like kind of thing. Yeah. Like railing up, and then and whatever bolsters it underneath, and it's just like going to nowhere, and it's just like, why? And this is like a perfect example, and I think this is like kind of what you would visualize in thinking about this in an unsettling way when you hear the words staircase in the middle of nowhere. This one's creepy. This one's creepy, but then again, this is what also makes me think, okay, this is like an art installation that somebody from New Mexico flew out to Appalachia to do. Like, I don't know. Like,
no, totally. It's like, someone from Stockholm came to Pennsylvania and welded this together. This was like part of their residency or whatever, working for the fucking University of Oslo or something. Like, it's all just like, this seems, because also what it doesn't have in common with some of the other staircases is that it was designed to not go anywhere.
It's form with no function.
Yes. It is art. I don't know. And also I think what we're missing in this is the context. It's like, yes, this was at the base of a mountain, but like we don't know what's around it. We don't know where the person who took the photo standing, like maybe where they are is like some super lair of a villain, and this is like some weird staircase that goes to their, basement costume try-on area or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, but this is definitely the one where I'm like, okay, this is the most fun one and the creepiest.
Yeah. Creepiest in that regard. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I guess we should talk about some theories that people have about all of these staircases in general. Like we have some theories. Obviously, first and foremost, people think that these are remnants of long forgotten settlements.
Yes.
So,
of course.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially if there's like a wrought iron staircase that's like, oh, this was probably a wood building. Maybe it burned down, like you said, like, and then this is the one thing that remained.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense. Also, we are talking about gold mining and stuff. It could have been a structure that was erected really quickly that wasn't built well. And again, it was like wood or something. And maybe that all like kind of fell apart, or people came and used the wood for other things in the area. Like, we don't know. But the stairs, they were like, well, we're not going to take these stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
we're building a 1-story, so
yeah,
they're not needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I also think, just thinking about like wagoneers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like who during that time period, like some of these structures could have been just really hastily built before a winter, and like they had stairs going up to like a little loft situation or something, and like and they just weren't built great, and they weren't maintained, and they eventually fell apart, and now it's hundreds of years later, and
they spent a lot of time on the stairs, but not on the rest of the house. Like they like measured out the stairs really well.
Yeah.
Really like propped them up well. Like the geometry was perfect, and that stayed, but the rest of the house just like fell down around it. Yeah.
Yeah, was straw. And
Jeb ran out of steam with the like, rest of the house. So
Jeb's a metal guy, okay? So he's gonna make sure these stairs are great, but the rest of it is not his responsibility.
Yeah. Jedediah, you were supposed to fucking shore up all 4 walls, and looks like you did not do such a great job.
Yeah. Also, another theory is that some of these are pulpits for occult ceremonies. So, maybe the one we just looked at, like the metal one, is fucking metal. You know what I mean? Like in so many ways, and they're like Satanists, and they're doing like fucking occult shit. And stairs. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Another one is that these are gateways to another dimension, which if you read in the like stairs in the woods or whatever Reddit, or like that one thread where in No
the
Sleep,
search and rescue guy.
Yeah, if you read like a lot of the comments and stuff, people are like, never walk on these, never take the stairs, because like you might
think you're gone for 5 minutes, but you're really gone for 5 years or whatever.
Like, and like your wife's moved on and had children with your best friend and whatever. It's like, and your whole family's dead or whatever. It's like, oh my God, people really take it there. Also, people think not only could this be a gateway to another dimension, but actually to hell. But then I'm like, why are the stairs going up?
Yeah, shouldn't they be going down? See,
right?
That would freak me the fuck out, is if I found a staircase that went underground.
Yes.
Dude, like not to a root cellar, not to like, anything, just like straight down into the ground, and that's it.
And then there's just like
a wall.
A dirt wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a regular wall, yeah. That would be freaky.
That'd be way scarier, okay?
Also, I'd feel like I was in the video game Myst or something, and like I need to like solve the puzzle to figure out how to open it. But then
do I like push on a like part of the wall or whatever? Yeah.
But
or
then I would just go crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And then another, this is a popular theory in air quotes. This allegedly comes from a psychic who assessed some of these staircases' energy, or like the energy surrounding the staircase. I feel like a staircase itself probably doesn't have energy, but I could be wrong.
Who's to say?
Yeah, who's to say? Unfortunately, I have no idea who this psychic is because she was uncredited in the article that mentioned her, so she gets no love here today. And also, when I tried to Google her, like psychic, stairs, assessing energy, whatever. I couldn't find anything, so who gives a shit? Anyway, apparently she alleged there's a clear energy shift near the staircases, and that, this is in quotes, getting close to them with her mind causes her emotions to become numb.
Creepy.
Your emotions to become numb. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's like, how many emotions were you feeling like about a staircase, like before you walked up to it? And then you like walked up to it and you're like,
I don't feel
it's a staircase, cool. Like, I don't know. Like, what?
How many emotions were you feeling? I know. Like, she's just like, I just have so many complex emotions. Wait.
I don't care.
I feel nothing.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is probably how I'd feel too if I walked up to a staircase in the middle of nowhere and I was like, initially like, what the fuck? What is this?
Yeah.
I'm feeling so weird about this. It's very unsettling. And then I walk up to the staircase and I'm like, it's just a staircase. Yeah. I don't know, you know? Like,
I know. Oh my gosh. Also, this would have been way more believable if she was like getting closer to them. Getting close to them with her mind causes her emotions to become numb. So is she even physically getting closer, or is she just in her mind?
She's like closer? Astro, like projecting herself to the fucking staircases. You know,
such bullshit.
I read a lot of like anecdotes about people who have claimed they have seen staircases in the woods, and it's always like, I was gonna take a picture, but there was something about the energy of the staircase that wouldn't let me, or the person I was with like didn't want to be near it and like ran off into the woods and like did. We never saw them again. Yeah, and it's just like, okay.
I know.
Like, yeah. Okay, cool story.
There's no way to corroborate this.
Yeah, so it's like it's all creepypasta that any like, I don't know. So I would like to see one in person. I don't know, like, we'll see. I don't know.
This psychic whose blog may or may not exist said that, and she may or may not exist, undetermined. She said the staircases are also used as locations for alien abductions, which that makes sense out of everything.
You walk up the stairs, you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah. Like if their tractor beam isn't working, they hover over the stairs and you walk up.
Sorry, the elevator's out of order. Can you just take the stairs?
Oh my God. I think it would be really funny if that was like a sketch to write, like, we are abducting you. And you're like, oh my God. And like the tractor beam gets almost to the top and then it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. You're going to have to climb in. And it's like, what? It's like, can you just climb in? And they're just like, like trying to, like getting out of a pool, but you're like climbing into the alien ship.
Me trying to get out of our car, like at any point in time right now. I'm so fucking pregnant.
Or get into your car. You have to like use the handle to pull yourself in.
I make so much noise getting in and out of a car, getting in and out of a chair, any situation. So.
Oh God.
Yeah,
this is all, I mean, it's these are just theories. I don't know. I think even some of these, like, I'm like, oh, is this just like a set design someone built for like a photo shoot? Like, was this someone's senior pictures and the theme was like aliens, or, you know, like,
yeah.
Every yearbook has a theme. It's like, oh, it's going to be like aliens or something, and then they like photoshopped like some sort of tractor beam into the back.
Yeah, it's like this, I guess, like my final thoughts and feelings on this. This whole thing, the whole idea of this feels a lot like that obelisk phenomenon, where they found that obelisk in the middle of the desert, like last year or whatever, and then like people kept reporting they were finding obelisks all over the world, and it was just like, this is all copycat shit from somebody who did it once as like either a prank or an art project or whatever, and then they like people like found out about it, became viral, and then like people started making their own obelisks, or people said they saw obelisk and then it wasn't there anymore, and it's just like, okay, like I believe aliens exist, but I don't think they go to all this fucking trouble, you guys, and like They probably are already amongst us, so who cares?
To put a fucking pole in the desert, it's like, is that like their idea of a practical joke, and they think it's so funny, and they're all like back in space just like laughing at humans being like, what is this?
Stupid idiots. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
they're just like pranking us all the time.
It's like their idea of a whoopee cushion or something. It is weird. Also, I just feel like, yeah, I can't believe people do that. I would want the attention. It's so wild. It's like it's like millions of impressions.
I wouldn't want the attention. I just knowing that people are obsessed with it, knowing that I did that is enough. It's like
your friends would know.
Well,
your inner circle would know probably.
I wouldn't tell anybody I was doing some weird shit like that. That's what makes it so fun. I like the idea of being like a chaos agent like that. Just like bringing this chaotic energy to the world. See, there's people that just want to do that shit, and you don't tell anybody. You don't make a big deal out of it. You don't give any hints. It's like being a serial killer without killing anybody kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you just like do this thing. That's the thing. It's like people are like, why would anybody go to all this trouble to like build a staircase in the middle of nowhere? Like, you don't know what people are capable of, first of all.
Shits and gigs, baby.
Like, you don't know how long they've been working on the staircase. Like, you don't know how long they've been taking like raw like lumber out to this like weird location that nobody else knows about. They've been hiking out fucking, all this shit for maybe years, and then they just build this staircase, and then suddenly somebody finds it like years later. I don't know.
Yeah.
The payoff is maybe never happens, and maybe it does.
But that's not why they were in it, Maybe they were just in it to complete the project, and that's it. And maybe they live in an apartment. They don't have a fucking yard.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, maybe it's their therapy.
See, that's the thing. You don't know what people's motivations are most of the time. And I feel like if this is the way somebody's going to channel that kind of chaotic energy, just to like see what kind of reaction the world has to it, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like pretty harmless. Unless some people actually like think the world's going to end or whatever.
Yeah.
And start devoting their lives to being obsessed with staircases in the woods or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, if this somehow like spawned a cult,
or like makes somebody like really upset and scared.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If this somehow spawned some sort of cult, and they were like the stair people or whatever, and then
people
it was
under the stairs,
then that's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like in researching and reading about this, I just like couldn't find anything compelling enough to like be actually like creeped out or moved.
No.
I would, if these exist in theory and in physically they do.
Yeah.
But not on the scale that people have like claimed that they do.
Yeah, especially the people who claim the more paranormal stuff where it's like, and every day it moves 50 meters or whatever, and it's like, no. That's not documented. That's not provable. Where's the receipts? Because you can easily map that out. You can measure it.
In this world, I always need receipts. So
yeah, me too.
This is 2021. We're cynical. We're hard. We're not. We are all mayors of Easttown right now, and we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Yep.
We don't care how long it takes. We won't take any water breaks at all. We're just going to go straight through.
No water breaks.
And get to the bottom of it. Okay?
Yeah. And we're going to have lunch. It's going to be hoagies. And root beers. Root beers.
Root beers. I don't know. I just am starting to say water now.
Water.
Yeah.
Even though Jack says water.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's hard because it's a fun
concept.
It's fun and it's interesting and people really get into it, and that's fun for people, and some people like to buy into that. But for me, I was like, oh, this topic doesn't have too much to it. I hope we didn't disappoint anyone who wanted to learn more about it. I mean, it's hard because it's like we probably didn't share much more than they've seen themselves. But, you know, it's like,
yeah,
I didn't know where to look.
I know. And then I was like, well, is there any other weird stuff in the middle of the woods that could be more compelling? And like, really all that I found were like listicles of like things people like. The listicle claimed it was weird things that people found in the woods, but it was really just like a lot of like art installations or like, you know, actually there was one that was really interesting. Somebody found a pile of like a huge dumping ground full of dishes, like plates and bowls and teacups and shit.
Oh my God.
And people responded to the image because I like followed the image, like, you know, like where it was sourced from, and it was like a story about how people like, you know, casinos and shit in like on the East Coast, like they just might get shut down or whatever for tax purposes, and they take all of their shit and just dump it illegally sometimes like that. And then I went down another rabbit hole of people who have like, you know, junk hauling services that don't take shit to the, you know, to the fucking dump, like a county dump. And they just, people like take that shit to like Indian reservations and dump it in like ravines and stuff.
Oh,
and it's just like, it's like full on like eco hazard, federal like crime. Yeah. Wow. Well, so sorry if we've disappointed anybody.
It was fun. I had fun.
It was fun.
It just wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, I had fun going down my separate little rabbit holes, my little side quests.
Reading some of the fiction was very fun too. Like I was a Boy Scout and one of the scouts disappeared, and it was like, what?
There's some top-notch writers out there.
Yes. Hopefully they'll have book deals.
I hope so, because there's a lot of shit out there. So just you get self-published. We know that. So
yeah. Bus driver science.
Creepypasta it up, kids.
Yeah. Did we do
just to believe everything on the internet?
No. Don't believe most, I would say, stuff on the internet. Just always fact check, you know.
Yeah.
Did we do that obelisk? Obelisk. Did we do that for
I think it was
Patreon?
A Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to plug the Patreon. We do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/DTFU podcast. We did a full bonus episode on while that was happening. It was like within the weeks it was happening.
Yeah, the obelisk thing that was happening last year. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we did that, like around January probably. So that's an episode you can listen to. It was very fun. And we have other content. You could check out all the tiers and become a patron and support us if you feel so inclined to additional content.
Yeah, check it out. We have so many fun bonus episodes on there. Love it. And our Q&As are insane.
So fun. Oh my God. I had an idea for one the other day. I forgot, but it'll come back to me.
Lots of fuck, marry, kills.
Yeah, it was along those lines.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media at DTFU podcast.
Everywhere. Yeah. All the platforms. And I think that's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening, as always, and stay excellent to yourselves.
And each other.
Bye-bye.
Bye.